less than 2 weeks, a lot of Americans are hoping that Dr. Jill Biden adds the title First Lady to her resume. And we're glad she found a couple of seconds to take a breather from the campaign trail to come and see us. Please welcome back Dr. Jill Biden. So there's...
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all.
Hey. 13 more days to go, and between you and I, you know, no one else is listening. How tired are you? You must be exhausted. And this
Do
is
I look
like
tired?
I feel a little. No, you don't look tired.
I am meeting so many people as I travel across this country, and I'm hearing so many different stories. And honestly, I feel inspired by the people that I'm meeting, and I know that we're going to make such a great change, a positive change in people's lives. So I'm not tired.
Well, you definitely don't look it. And your husband's campaign manager said over the weekend that this race is far closer than experts say, and that the next weeks are going to be hard. While the polls are in your favor, do you feel that way also? And how tight do you think this election actually is?
You know, I see a lot of good energy out there. I see a lot of crowds. Yesterday, I was in Michigan, and we have these things now. They're like you go to a drive-in theater, and people sit in their cars, and there were 250 some cars. And then I give my speech, and people are honking. And so, you know, I feel a lot of really positive energy. But we're not taking anything for granted, and I hope that your viewers know that, and everybody gets out there and votes.
So, Dr. Biden, you know, and all of us are sickened to hear that the parents of more than 545 migrant children separated at the border have yet to be tracked down because the government failed to keep track of their parents' whereabouts. I can't believe this. Yeah. And a lot of the parents may have already been deported. I think, to me, this is a criminal human rights violation. This is human rights violation. How should the Trump administration be held accountable? And what would Joe do? You don't mind if I call him Joe, do you? What would Joe do to alleviate the situation?
Well, first of all, we wouldn't even be here if Joe were president. So there would be no separation of families at the border. And, you know, I traveled to the border last Christmas. I was in Matamoros, and I saw those families, and I served a Christmas meal to, you know, the thousands of people who were there. And we have to find a way to reunite these families. I mean, as a mother, it breaks my heart. I can't even imagine it. And I think all Americans feel that way. I don't care whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican. If you're a mother, if you're a grandmother, this breaks your heart.
Jill, COVID cases are on the rise again, here and around the world. I told viewers Monday that my husband just battled the virus. Thankfully, he's home right now, eating ice cream, I suspect. But Trump says there is not much he would do differently on his COVID response. He criticizes Joe because he's going to listen to scientists as if that's a bad thing. So can you tell us, what would Joe do differently?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, Joe, really, we can't do anything until we get this virus under control. And you've heard the scientists and the doctors, that's who we're following. And they are saying, wear your mask, socially distance. And we've got to come together. We've got to, you know, this can't be a political issue. This is a public health issue. And if you're not going to wear your mask for yourself, wear it for your neighbor who's undergoing chemotherapy and her immune system is down. Wear it for the little boy down the street who has asthma and he could get sick, or his grandmom could get sick. You know, do it for someone else if you're not going to do it for yourself.
Dr. Biden, even with over 220,000 Americans dead from COVID, there are still these angry protests over safety measures. And President Trump supporters are still packing into rallies. Even we saw recently a Georgia state lawmaker crowd surf over maskless attendees at a Georgia Trump rally. My question is, why do you think this pandemic has become so political, like you just mentioned? And why do you think Trump supporters still believe him over our scientists and our trusted experts like Dr. Fauci?
Well, I think this administration has made it political. I mean, we need to listen to the doctors and the scientists. That's what we have to do. And I think it's totally irresponsible that people are going to these rallies and they're not wearing masks, they're not socially distancing. It's irresponsible, and people will die because of this.
So, you know, we found out last week that Barron, Trump's little boy, he's not such a little boy anymore, but we found out that he had coronavirus and that Trump is using his positive case to push reopening schools, saying that he was unaffected by the virus because of his immune system. I don't know about all that. But what would you like to tell Donald about his push to reopen schools? I personally am very, very skeptical of opening all of these schools. So far, it seems to have worked out a little bit because of some schools are having precautions. But this one-size-fits-all does not work. Am I right?
Well, you know, I'm a teacher, as you well know, and as you were an English teacher. And nobody wants to get back to school more than the teachers do, the educators. We'd give anything to be back in our classrooms. But we are listening to what the doctors and the scientists are telling us. And when it's safe to go back, we'll go back. But right now, you know, we have to do this remote learning. I mean, parents are doing an incredible job. I know how hard it is. You know, I'm in the classroom, and parents are trying to work, and they're trying to help their kids with their remote learning and run households. And I have to say, our teachers have been incredible. And I talked to a teacher really who got in her car and went to her students' homes, stayed in her car for those parents who did not know how to use technology, and walk them through how to, you know, get on to a laptop, how to sign in. I mean, our teachers have gone above and beyond, and I love that people are saying that teaching is really a tough job, and it's not a 9-to-3 job. It's a job that you do 24 hours a day. And so I have to really say thank you to all the teachers. And I think maybe after this is all over, you know, the teachers and the parents have worked so closely together, and I hope that trend continues, that we have this sort of unity in our schools.